How's this for numbers? 52 million Americans, one-fifth of the population, shop in a Walmart every week. $2 of every 10 spent on department store merchandise goes into a Walmart cash register. Walmart's goal is total saturation, to be within easy reach of every American. But a lot of Americans, especially those in small towns, are beginning to wonder what else this giant corporation is doing to their lives. It's already the world's largest retailer. Projected sales for 1995, $100 billion. In just the 3 months ending last January, they tell us they averaged more than one grand opening every day.
Walmart, an American multinational retailer corporation that operates as a chain of hypermarkets, discount department stores, and grocery stores since 1962. In 2012, Walmart registered approximately $444 billion in sales, which is $20 billion more than Austria's GDP. In fact, if Walmart were a country, it would be the 26th largest economy in the world. While this seems like a utopian business, it seems too good to be true. How could such a business make so much money while selling goods at a cheap price? We first have to look at the establishment of the corporation, more specifically the man behind the operation himself, Samuel Walton. Walton began as an ordinary retailer at a local retail shop in Newport, Arkansas. Seems normal, right? Wrong. This experience is what started it all. As a money-hungry retailer, he aimed to make the most amount of money for his store, bargaining for the best price from wholesalers while keeping his merchandise at a higher price. However, his business was able to succeed as his products were relatively cheaper than other retailers around him, simply relying on the sheer amount of products sold at his store. While maintaining prices in the store, Walton was able to pocket the rest of the profit made, doing anything to keep the profit margins high. This progressive idea was the cornerstone to the biggest corporation known in the world. Today, Walmart is the largest company by revenue in the world, in addition to its revered marketing and business tactics. Purely off of face value, Walmart appears to be a helpful, cheap solution for many Americans who want a streamlined shopping service. But to provide such a service, Walmart has taken actions which have negatively affected millions of Americans and workers across the world. Walmart's quest for cutting costs have created repercussions which in one way or another impacted all of our lives. Its enormous corporate structure and expansive range of retail locations is the reason behind their enormous influence. However, Walmart would not have reached such a powerful state if the proper restrictions were firmly in place. One of these missing obstacles was the access to the unionization of workers, which many other similar retail companies or corporations require. Walmart's inception in Arkansas is an important aspect of the growth, as its initial working force was not unionized. This was due to multiple social and economic factors which have been restricting factors for organizations running unions for over a century. And the northern states' union membership was large and mostly concentrated in large cities and industrial centers such as Chicago and New York. These cities had dense populations of culturally diverse people who worked and lived close together. In contrast, the South had continued to remain fairly rural even after World War II and was much more sparse in its immigrant population and industrial complexes.
In rural American cities consisting of small and fragile economies, Walmart's further expansion has had a significant social and cultural impact. While Walmart is known for their low prices, it is often noted that their wage and employer benefits are one of the least appealing in all of transcorporate businesses. Receiving only a 10% discount on merchandise, which excludes food, paid with a minimum wage. Walmart employees are often stagnant without poverty, unable to climb into social economic status, regardless of how many hours they work. Furthermore, another detrimental social impact stems from Walmart's decision to manufacture goods outside of the U.S. in order to obtain cheaper prices. By manufacturing on foreign soil, Walmart is able to avoid restrictions laid by the United States government, such as minimum wage, social benefits, and quality of working environment, while capitalizing on cheap labors outside the United States. Additionally, Walmart and other transnational corporations have shifted the U.S. economy from that of a producer's economy to a consumer one. This ultimately causes a negative impact as it devalues America's domestic manufacturing along with the loss of jobs and increase in underpaid job markets within the United States. Additionally, Walmart hinders the ability of small businesses to compete as low prices provided by Walmart attract oblivious consumers to buy products without realizing its detrimental impacts to surrounding businesses. Without being able to match the low prices, local retailers go out of business, which leads to a further monopolization of Walmart. This leads to a question to think about. Would you buy a product at a cheaper price with detrimental impact, or would you buy a more expensive product with little to no negative impact?
After the New York Times discovered that Walmart had bribed Mexican officials to allow them to open up a store in multiple cities throughout New York, another report came up showing how much communities lose when Walmart comes to town. On average, Walmart decreases the community's economic output by around $13 million in 20 years. In addition to that, $14 million will be lost in wages in the same period due to Walmart's low pay and minimal benefits. Christopher Fowler, who conducted research from Puget Sound Sage, says when Walmart comes to town, it is going to reallocate sales, and its impact is going to be a function of the differences between what is currently paid in wages at the existing stores and what Walmart pays. That redistribution in sales is estimated at $25 million annually, according to research. This means that nearly $660,000 in wages is lost annually. Walmart is able to offer lower prices than other small retailers, and we would expect that to have an additional effect with both cost and benefits, Fowler said. Since Walmart can offer goods at such a low cost, surrounding stores are outcompeted. A 44-year-old grocery store in North Carolina saw a 30% drop immediately when a nearby Walmart opened up a couple years ago. According to Bloomberg News, whenever the mom-and-pop supermarket cut prices, the Walmart would match or undercut them. The store finally succumbed to the inevitable last October, closing up early. These cases are due to Walmart's tactic, the bait and switch, opening up new stores with very low prices, but after shutting all the stores down around it, the prices shoot right up, often higher than prices that stores around it used to charge.
Walmart obtains many of its retail items from factories in third world countries. It imports 10% of all goods to the United States from China. Most of its suppliers explain that Walmart requires a fast production and delivery time, but they compensate with how much they order and the long runtime of these shipments. Walmart also has more retail stores internationally than in the United States, with around 6,189 stores internationally compared to the 4,987 in the United States. The countries which have the most stores are the United Kingdom, Canada, Brazil, China, and Mexico. While some of these are developed countries in the global north, more recently, countries in the global south have been targeted as recipients for new store locations. This appeals to many with Walmart's promises of low prices. Already, many developing countries have associations with Walmart as suppliers and has generally impacted the foreign workforce negatively. The factory owners who supply Walmart cannot afford to raise the salaries of their workers or improve the conditions where they work. They would not be able to turn a profit if they did improve conditions, especially because Walmart pays 5% less than anyone else. Many are urging Walmart to pay more for their products so that these factory owners can provide fair salaries and benefits for their workers. These operations occur mostly in countries with weak labor laws and plentiful natural resources, such as India, Bangladesh, and Cambodia. Walmart's policies are pushing suppliers to the edge, and Walmart must be able to provide for their supplies more effectively, or the employees for these suppliers would face increased unemployment and poverty.